Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and today we have a new review of the Triumph Scalper. Triumph Scalper is actually a signal trading tool for Forex, and we've seen a couple of reviews out there which hasn't really gone into depth, but people have issued statements that this particular tool is good for 90 to 95% profit, which we find quite high, but obviously we want to put it to the test to see if this is actually true and if this can be used for everybody that even doesn't have any Forex experience in the past. So this particular tool comes from the developers, and they have not mentioned anything about profitability. So, but there is a couple of statements there that shows up to the 90-95% from people that have bought this. And yes, today we're going to put it to the test. We have actually had live trading on this for the last couple of weeks, and we're going to try and reveal how we set it up as per recommendations from the developers and exactly what kind of profits we have. So let's get started and have a closer look at it. So let's start off with exactly what it is. As a tool, it's a signal trading tool. So what does that mean? That means the Triumph Scalper will provide signals only. So this is not an EA, this is not a robot. It will not trade for you. So it will not buy or sell automatically. So it will only provide you the signals. Once it's provided the signals, the developers are still taking some precautions in order to make sure that you get the highest profitability. And that means that you have to go in and evaluate the signal strength, means exactly if this is a good signal or not so good, where you need to stay out of these trades. So, and we're going to discuss that today, and that is through Forex Screener and the Forex economical calendar that we also have to have a look at. And you'll see that it's not so difficult as it sounds, and obviously we'll provide the links for these items, so you can follow it after you had a look at the video. But you will have to perform the actions, so it's up to you if you want to buy and sell. This does not happen by itself, and for some people that is certainly better than having a robot running in the background trading when you don't know about it. So, but that's different type of trading skills. Let's go and have a look exactly how the setup is meant from the developer side, and we've been trying to follow this all the way to the letter. So first of all, this product only works on the MT4 platform. So MT5 is not available for now. I don't know if it will be. So the next part, the default values for takeoff, take profit and stop loss are recommended for 5-digit brokers, and you have to adjust that if you have a 4-digit broker. It's basically a matter of how many zeros you have at the end. Further to this, activation of the product, and this is where we find this a bit peculiar. So the product will only work on a single trading account. And for people that are used to having multiple accounts and testing on different currencies and at the same time also on different timelines, this product here is a bit special, I would say. It's the first time I come across it, where you can only have this running on one account. So that means that you can only run it on one timeline. So with one trading account, so you cannot run demo accounts and live accounts at the same time. It simply won't allow you to do this. We did contact the developers of this to see if this could actually be true, and they basically came back and told us that this is the way it is, and there's nothing more we can do about it. So obviously we're used to running multiple accounts with different types of setup to see which works best, but that's really not possible in this particular case. You can run multiple different currencies, of course. So, and you can also set it up, but it within the same one account that you can set up different types of for 5 minute and 1 minute and 15 minutes trading accounts. So, but it makes it a bit more difficult to dissect which trades are for what. So very difficult to analyze at the end of the day. So let's move on. So installation of the product, that's very easy and very well explained. So we're not going to go into details. It works like any other EA or signal trading platform that you just copy the files into the folders. So, and then we start off here with the rules that the developers have set that you also have to follow in order to get the best out of the signal trading tool. So do not use the indicator on a flat market. So this is more of a scalping, and that means it takes small pieces out of the market, and obviously trends is something better for a type like this. And this is exactly where rule number 2 comes in: ignore all signals against current global trends. So obviously if the global trend is going the opposite way of what the Triumph Scalper is telling you, you have to ignore it and stay out of the trade. And you should not use the indicator on a sideways trade, which is basically the same as a flat market, and we'll come back to that and show you exactly how that looks. So what this means is you go in and you use the Forex Screener, and that helps as when you get signals, you can go and have a look at the particular currency and see how this works. So where currently are the trends? Are they? You can see the ratings are currently over here, and it normally comes in 5 tradings. We are using the Forex Screener through TradingView. There's multiple different ones that you can use, but this will normally tell you either if it's neutral, if it's buy, sell, or if it's strong buy or sell. So if you get a buy signal on the Aussie CAD, and you also have it here, that is what you call a good positive signal. If it goes the other way, you have a buy signal here for the Aussie Swiss franc, but this one says sell, then it's basically the idea that you stay out of this trade. And if it's in neutral, that is more or less what you call the flat market, and again, you should stay out of it. Best ones that we have is obviously the strong signals, so either strong sell or strong buy. So that's what was the rule 1 and 2. Rule 3 here is before entering a trade, or when you're in a trade, you need to check the news calendar, and they're suggesting one here. We are using a different one, then we'll provide the links below. So, but you can obviously, there's multiple ones out there, but they are showing the same thing, and it looks something like this. And this particular one is for Tuesday, the 14th of September, and it's normally set up in such a way that you have the calendar for the full day. So, and then you have stars depending on how big of an impact it has. So for the financial situation. So what the developers don't want to trade around is on the British pounds, for example, here where you have an announcement at 8 o'clock in the morning, you should stop trading, and we normally say about half an hour before, and the same thing after. So because here you will have some volatility that could kick you out. So it's better that you stay out of the market unless you have some inside information to this. Otherwise, the chances that you'll lose out. So rule 4, what they say here is avoid opening new trade until a previous trade. So on the same currency pair, which is quite normal, when you do the trading. And avoid entering more than one trade per one set of generated signal level lines, so that you can only enter when the price reaches buy or sell entries for the first time. So, and just a bunch of good rules to follow through. The same here as also exiting the trades. They recommend as soon as you get the alert, you exit. And if you get exit the trade, if you get an opposite signal appears on the charts, and use the exact take profit values shown in the type of alert signals. And another exit mechanism which is highly effective is to exit near strong support. But this one, option 4, is a bit more for the experienced traders that know where the support lines are going through, and takes a bit more getting used to. So if you haven't done this before. So the time frames that are available on this particular one, as I mentioned before, is 1 minute, 5 minute and 15 only. And it works on all the major pairs. So, and then it also has best results on a couple of other ones, as you can see here below. And we are obviously going to show you exactly our results for every single currency, and you can have a closer look at that too. So the setup itself, when you put it on the MT4 platform, there's not much really to change. You have a look at your trading style. And in this particular case, the medium was recommended by the developers. So we are going with that one. So, and then you have only a couple of, we have some pop-up sound alerts. So if you need to be alerted on your computer, you can set it up by email, push notification to your phone. You can also do this. And then the standard settings for the trading. So for the 1 minute and for the 5 minutes, and we are using the take profit here. So for the 15 minutes, which is 400 or 40 pips, and stop loss is 200 or 20 pips. So you obviously have double the profit compared to you have loss, which is the right way. And obviously, again, we'll have to see if that actually works over time. So you don't really have to set anything. You don't have to change anything. So you can just go with the medium, or as it will show here, you have a couple of different types of settings: conservative, medium, aggressive, and custom, where you can go in and change it to wherever you want. So fairly simple one, and not much setup time is required for this one here. So how does the alert look like? Well, it pops up on your MT4. So and you will see that every single line has a new alert. In this particular case, it will come up with the currency first. Then it will come up with the timeline. So if you are running a 1 minute, 5 minute or 15, so which one the alert is for. So the if you have multiple ones on the same trading account, it will tell you this is now the alert for the Triumph Scalper. If it's a buy or sell signal, the entry price that it has determined, and then the take profit and the stop loss. And that's pretty much it. That's all you get, and that's all you need. Same thing on the phone. Again, you will get new ones every single time you have a new pop-up. And yeah, it looks like this, and it works quite well on the phone. We have tried it here also. So the recommendations, obviously, when we look on the net and on the marketing page, it all looks very neat and nice, all profits. And obviously what they've done also is they've taken pieces out of the Forex market where the currencies are trending. And obviously when they are trending, that's exactly what this signal trading tool is made for. So looks like you're doing a lot of profit every single time, so which is obviously nice. But as we trade it live, a couple of things pop up that it doesn't look so promising. Before we have a look at this, we have one last part that again, the developers have said, do not use the indicator on a weak or slow market. Again, this is a flat market we're talking about. And in order to improve, again, the profitability, they suggest the London session is the largest market, and it opens at 8 GMT. So, and closes again at 5 in the afternoon GMT. We've been trading this one here, so roughly from 7-8 Central European time until 5 or 6. So obviously we cannot sit at the computer at all times, but most of the trades that we wanted to enter, we have entered. So it gives another example here. Just if the trend is up and the indicator generates a buy signal, then you go in, and the trend we were talking about earlier is the websites that I showed you. The trend is down and the indicator generates a sell signal, then it's also okay. So it explains here the trend is up and the indicator shows a sell, obviously no trade, and we wait for the next signal. And even if you get the buy signal here, you still need to go have a look at the website and see if the trend is still moving in that direction. So the trend is down and the indicator shows buy, again no trade. So what it says here again, always stay away from the trading completely when the market is flat, and there's a good example of a flat market that doesn't really move much. And that's not what this signal trading tool is for. You're basically bigger risk of losing than you are of gaining in these particular trading circumstances. So yeah, stay out of it. And we've done that too when we know. So this is the setup that we have, and this is right after 2 weeks that we took it out, and you can see all the different currencies that we have in here. So we covered the ones that you saw before. So in total we have 10 currencies, and at the time that we took this particular picture, we were up about $115 US. Since then it's gone up to about 150, so obviously it's moving all the time. You can see that the lot size we're using is fairly small compared to the $10,000 US account. So it's a 0.1, and again we don't want to risk too much in the beginning, so we are more interested in the percentage rise. So how often are we actually making a profit, and then later on we can turn up the lot size should we need to. So going over and having a look at some of our trades, or let's say our individual currencies here, you'll see this. And what I've done here is just to highlight that not every single time that that this indicator shows that it's a good time to get in. So this one here is the buy signal, so the bluish green, so is the buy. And what you have to remember here also, you see the arrows on here, is that this one here is the one that actually gives the first signal, which means the first time that you are able to get in is on the second signal. So what we've done here is we highlighted when we got the buy signal, and then when we exited again. And obviously you can see that this was a loss, even though we looked quite well at one point, but it didn't pick up the entire take profit. And by the time the trend changed, then we were actually below. So we managed to get a loss. And here the indicator told us to put a sell in, and we went up here until it started to buy. So as you can see, there's 5 losses straight away here. Yeah. And it's not really a flat market, but this will just tell you that you need to have a look at the trend, because otherwise you're going to get caught up in all this. So later on here we have one, and you can see a red line here says a stop loss. This is actually because on the trades, in order to improve the profitability, we put a trailing stop loss in of about 15 pips, and that has also helped us a bit. So as we are not looking at when the trades are stopping, and in this particular case the last one here, we're sure to get a profit on this. So let's have a look at another example. Again, we have a buy signal here, and as soon as we almost put the buy in, it looks like the trend, it went down, and it basically changed into a sell signal, and that means that we have had a loss here. And this particular sell, it looked pretty good, but it didn't kick in for the take profits, and trend reversed again here, and at the time we got a buy, we got a small little loss along the way. And then we had a really positive one, so a very good trend. We had a buy here, and just the line is just showing you here that this is basically 40 pips in this particular case. So the signal would have cut out here, so because we managed to get to the take profit. Otherwise, even though it would have stayed in until we had the change of the trend, we will still have made a profit, but then maybe just a bit over half as it looks here. Yeah. So again, the last one. So this is the third currency pair. So this is British pounds, Japanese yen. So we have a loss. So we get a buy signal in here, and you have a sell signal over here. So this particular one, and I think I put a loss in here, so better scratch that one. So I think these two were were swapped. So that means that this was actually a profitable one, and this one here was the loss one, and then it's pretty much the positive one all the way up to profits here. And this one again made it all the way, so for the 40 pips, and it looks like this one here also did quite well. So let's have a look at this, and for the people that have seen before, I also follow all my trades up with FX Blue, and in this particular case, as you could see, the 10,000 account we started off with now made it to 10,115, and floating profits was also 28 at the time. Closing profit was 115, and the total returns after the 2 weeks has been 1.4%. Monthly returns is calculated 2.4, and weekly returns 0.6. And you can see again the currencies that we were trading. We did have one gold. It's not really set up for the gold, I have to say. The signals work, but the take profit and stop loss, you gotta manually adjust them because it's not really set up for gold. So you get some take profit and stop loss that are simply too tight, and you basically have to almost time it by 10. Yeah. So this is one that that you can go and follow our trades on. So the links will be below in the description also. So go and have a look there and familiarize yourself with this. There's a lot more tabs to look at. So if we have a closer look at the tabs, as you can see, so this is sorted by net profit. So the biggest net profit we did was actually gold against the US dollar. It was actually only one trade. And after that, British pounds USD, we made 39. USD CAD also positive, positive all the way down to the US Swiss francs. And then we have 4 currency pairs that is currently in minus, so with 15 and up to 30 something here. Yeah. So that's one way of having a look at it. The strongest pairs here, so was one with 100% was the US CAD. We sorted over with the symbols, and again you can see the best one here was the gold, but only the one trade. US CAD is the one that we just saw before, had 4 winners, 100%. USD Japanese came in at 80% of winners, 67 here for both the British pounds USD and the Euro USD, and then it basically drops away. So you can have a look and see which of these currency pairs are working the best. You can see there's 5 trades here in New Zealand Japanese, 5 trades, so it's the top part for this, and we ended up only getting 1/5 right, so only one profitable trade. So obviously when we get some more data and details, you might go and say, well, actually we shouldn't really trade this one at all, and you remove it. Sorted by days, it'll give you a bit more of an overview. So you could see our first day that we started off, end of August here. Made a good profit, and this was mainly for the gold on the US dollar. The next day, small loss, and then a couple of good days with gains, and then another 3 days with loss, and the last one here was a profitable one. And if we take that to the next level and have a look at it by week, we'll see that the first week was very profitable. Second week, obviously not so well, but we have gained a bit back now. So, but let's see in the future. You can always go in and have a look at the links yourself. Sorted by month, it looks fairly well all of a sudden. So you have profitable for both the end of August, the few days we had in there, and it looks like we are slightly up here for the month of September. And to show you on the MQL5, which is another platform where you can also go in and trade your signals here, this gives you a good graph and overlook on a couple of things. Profitable trades, it tells us we're all the way down to 53%, which is very, very low and not even close to the 90-95%. So again, we are not using this as a professional trader, so we are using the tool as newbies would, as people, and following basically the advice from the developers. So that means we have a look at those two sites, we see if the signals are lining up, and if they do, we go into the buys. We don't go in and have a look at support levels and Fibonacci and God knows else what. No, that is not the idea. The idea is, can we trade this one? Can people that have very little trading experience get into this? And that's how we work on it. So you can see again here profit 115, which has gone up since we did these screenshots. So, but you can see the red line is slowly but surely creeping up, and as below here we can see the August did just over 1%, and September is up by 0.22, and in total it's basically 1.1% so far in 2 weeks, which is not too bad, of course, but if we would have used a bigger lot size, obviously bigger profit. But we are mainly interested at the moment in having a look at the profitability of the trades in percentage, and then later on we will ramp up. So that's it. That is the review, and that is what we have managed to get so far out of the Triumph Scalper. So it looks to be a good and decent tool. Obviously, again, we also need to work with this over time, and hopefully we will improve the results. But the results are not as good as people say they are. Maybe they are a lot better than we are at it. So, but I haven't seen anybody showing their accounts like we have done here. So I'll be interested to see if somebody else has done the trades and has done a lot better than us. By all means, send us an email, and we'll be happy to have a look at it. I will also tell you at the same time that not only with the Triumph Scalper, you can also get the Triumph Scalper Assistant. So as you can see, the Triumph Scalper alone is $147, and if you buy the full kit, it's $244. And what the Scalper Assistant does, it actually comes up with an additional window, as you can see here, where you already have your take profit stop loss set up, and there's a couple of ways where you can manipulate when you want to exit the deal again, which is a bit more automated than the way that we have done it and with the trailing stop. So, but it's entirely up to you if you want to buy this package also. I will leave the link so for where you can buy this in the description below, together with all the different details of the profits that we have made on the MQL5 and on the FX Blue site, and you can have a look as we continue to trade this. So go and have a look, see if this is something for you, and give us some feedback. If you have a lot better experience with the Triumph Scalper than we do, we will be happy to hear from you. So until next time, see you on the next video. Bye bye.